Today I am going to provide you all with an insight into Lila Polymers. With more than 20 years of experience as a leading international trading, distributing and indenting house specialized for polymer products, Lila Polymers is one of the leading global trading house in polymer and petrochemicals product. They possess rich domain experience and intimate knowledge of international and local polymer markets. So let's welcome Mr. Jagdish Tanna, the CEO of Lila Polymers. Welcome, Mr. Tanna.
Thank you very much.
So today it's like the organization started in 1945 and it's
1945 was done by my grandfather, and Lila Polymers was established by me in 1990. So we completed 27 years this year.
27 years. So I would just briefly would like to know how have you established yourself in the domestic market so well?
We have always flown with the time. Initially, I remember me starting as an indenting agent. For 10 years we did import indenting. Then for next 10 years we did export indenting, and then 7 years has been distribution. So we have changed with the time, and that is the key to success.
From domestic to international, it becomes a complete different market. So what are the strategies and how have you just established yourselves in two different markets completely?
Let me tell you honestly, domestic market is a very difficult ball game to deal with, but international market was a really easy one. Since international market, because we had an experience of 20 years for import and exports, thus we were very well established in the international market, and with the connectivity which we had, with the supply sources which we had, we were very easy to establish in domestic market. And yeah, we do have about 700 customers to deal with in India, very difficult ones, some of them. So we have been able to really succeed because we have a very good source of supply source. We have brand names like Dow, with whom we are working last 4 years, and they're exclusive distributors in other regions. So that is the key success of a local distribution market as well as an international exposure. Both together, mix.
But when we talk about international market, the thought process works little different. So how different it is, the thought process, and how do you plan your strategies according to that?
International market is volume game. Domestic market is, you have the people over here, even if they are the smallest of the consumer, they demand service, they demand credit, they demand informations, and they ask the world from us. Internationally, when we used to deal, it's like a macro transactions basically. So you have huge volume moving in and out. The broad mindset of the customers, like in China, in Vietnam, in Indonesia, completely different. Though they are much ahead in consumption, per capita consumption ahead of us, but India, I feel slowly and gradually down the line, 10 years, we are going to be having an excellent time forward for polymer business. This is what I personally feel.
So when you talk about polymer business here, in India, what do you feel like which coming up factories will have more consumption for polymers?
Overall, everything is growing. Every polymer has got double-digit growth. So you said injection molding, you said blow molding, you said raffia, you said BOPP, PVC resin, whatever, it's double-digit growth. So as you can see, everybody knocking the door of India. Why everyone wants to come to India? Why they want to invest in India? Because there is a consumption story over here. Everybody is expanding. Everybody is doubling their capacities. All consumers, converters, everybody is putting one machine or new project every year. And I see huge potential in Indian market for polymer especially. And it is a sunrise industry, if you can say that today. From the morning when you get up and you do a brush, it's plastics, and when you sleep on the pillow in the night, it's plastics.
Exactly. So I basically think that every product that we use in our day-to-day life has plastic. Internationally also, people are trying to come to India. So with competition, success, and around all this, rivals do come. What things do you follow for such competition?
I would love to have competitors till they are fair. Alright? You can't fight an unorganized trader in our market because we are in an organized trading. So I would love, let more the merrier. I would be more fitter to deal with them, and I would love competition. I like competition. To overcome competition, basically your ethics. See, if you have an ethical business practice, then I'm sure there is no way you cannot grow. We have been over the 27 years, we have adopted ethical practices in our businesses, whether we were agents, brokers, distributors, traders, but we work on that principle, ethics. Whenever we commit, whether it is $500 difference or 10 rupees difference, we deliver. And that is the key success to our business. Basically, we have been taught by our grandfather, don't you lose any word. That's all. Well, your word is valued more than the money. That is what we have learned from our grandfathers.
So when we say like we're going to face competitions, so our very own Prime Minister always comes up with something or the other that will fluctuate the whole market. So right now it's almost over a month where GST has been implemented. Has it actually affected the polymer business?
See, last 4 years, if you consider from 2014 till 2017, every year we have had a turmoil in the market, whether in terms of oil collapse, whether in terms of rupee depreciation, whether in terms of global meltdown, whether in terms of demonetization, and now GST. So we feel everything is over now. The time to come is just one: grow. For GST, for organized player, it's a boon. No doubt there is India, I would say there are 40% of the market is unorganized, which after the implementation of GST would at least reduce to 20 to 15%. There would be an organized market, but it would reduce. And for a player like us who are in the organized market, it's blessings. We, right now, initially, take time, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, but slowly and gradually, I think everybody would have to settle down with GST, and we see only upward graph in our business.
Okay, what actually you mean by like unorganized market?
Unorganized market means the people who buy the raw material in cash without the bill and sell the finished product in cash without the bill. That is called unorganized market, where there is no trace of any check payments, nothing, and that's completely an unorganized sector. So that is called an unorganized market.
So there is a fluctuation of raw materials and prices. So eventually it goes on continuously. Like how does it affect your margin and then your profit?
See, first of all, let me clarify, if there is no challenges or there is no fluctuation or there is no volatility, there is no fun of doing business, number one. So the more the challenges, more tougher you get. Second thing, in a distribution business, we believe in buying every month. Okay, we are not traders. There's a distinguish between trader and a distribution. Trader buys only spot when there is an opportunity. Distribution, like Dow, irrespective of any price, every month we buy. It is like in Gita, if you have heard, Karm kiye ja par phal ki pratiksha mat kar. It's like that.
Exactly.
As a distributor, we have to buy every month, whatever the price it may be. We buy and then we distribute into the domestic market. As far as the challenges are concerned, volatility of the prices are concerned, it do impact us for sure. But when you are in a regular business, 12 months, it averages out. So sometimes 3 months is bad, 3 months is good, 3 months is extremely good, 3 months is extremely bad. So it's like average out. So we deal with this kind of volatility, and last 4 years has been really volatile for all of us. We have survived. It is the biggest achievement which we have done. The future is very bright, very bright.
So like after all this, it seems that everything is going digital. So how do you gonna take your industry into the field of digitization?
I personally feel yes, there is a need of an hour in India where polymers are being traded, bought and sold on a digital platform. No, though I would say polymer being one-to-one business, relationship business, still this has not come up, and that is the reason I think one of the key platform which we have invested in is polymer exchange. All right, as a Lila Polymers, which we see after 5 years or 10 years, people would buy and sell on a platform, which is digital platform, which is a need of an hour today. From pin to industrial tools to machines are being sold on a platform, digital platform. Look at China, which is all the way going up in digital platforms. So India will have to follow, and that's the reason why we feel and future is digital. That's all I can say. Future is digital. There is nothing. There would be physical trade, but information flow, which is compelling people and the new generation which is joining the business, which would lead this to digital platform, I would say, which would make people trade, buy, sell on a digital platform.
Okay. Everybody works to have a zenith of success. So where you see yourself in the coming 2025?
2025, 8 years from now, we see ourselves growing to at least 1,000 crore company, number one, into physical distribution. As far as the other avenues are concerned, the investments in our digital platform, which would right by then, by 2025, and I see the valuation of that portal going very high, very soon it should be. Thirdly, we have already diversified into engineering plastics, which is really growing sector, as well as certain infrastructure products like bitumen, which also we have started doing the business in. So I feel overall by 2025, as the Indian growth story, which everybody is now talking about, and with the growth in the industry, we would have a very good time at that time.
So I always see a very proper plan and organized structure. Do you have any specified steps?
See, we live for the moment, okay? Though you plan, but you live for the moment. As you say, that's so much of vulnerability, so many factors are affecting. But every day we live for the moment, we live for that day. Agreed. Planning are always there, dreams are always there. So the dream is there, and as such in place, as we said, we are inducting more products, we're inducting more human resources every other day. We have a team of about 48 people now working for us. We have branches across all over India, and we are just increasing volume month after month. As the industry grows, we are also going to grow. So this is what the footsteps towards 2025.
Okay, lastly, I would like to know one business mantra that you follow.
I already said, never let down your ethics. That's the business mantra. Of key to success is your ethics, your ethical practices of business, and teamwork. That is what ultimately counts, because you alone not going to win anything, but if the team is there, then you're going to win everything. So this is, I personally believe these two mantras are more than enough for success.
This was Mr. Jagdish Tanna sharing his insight. With camera person Aniket, this is Rinku Jain from Polymer Update, the fastest growing petrochemical market intelligence company in the world. Polymer Update is a world-renowned provider of business-critical industry news and real-time price alerts. If you have enjoyed watching this video interview from Polymer Update and have found it to be useful for your business, please subscribe to our channel by pressing the button below.